You're listening to the Green Jumper podcast with myself, Marcus Alton, the editor of the tribute website brianclough.com. My guest is a former soldier who has some special memories of Cloughie. Billy Lundy was a Grenadier Guard and he joins me now. Nice to talk to you, Billy.
Yeah, nice to talk to you, Marcus.
Now, you received a letter from Brian after being badly injured in what was really a terrible incident in Northern Ireland in the Troubles in 1979. Before we talk about the letter, what were the circumstances of what happened to you?
Oh, it was a device in a car which exploded as I walked by. I was on a foot patrol.
How badly injured were you then? How did it affect you?
Oh, I received nearly about 40% third-degree burns and other injuries. Other bits and bobs, as I call them.
Yes. So with those serious injuries, did you have to go to a burns unit?
Yeah, I was flown into a hospital in Belfast, Musgrave Park, the military wing of Musgrave Park, and they flew me back to a specialist burns unit in London in a military hospital.
And how long had you been a Grenadier Guard at that point?
I joined in July of 1975, and the incident happened in February 79.
You're from the East Midlands, but on the tour of Northern Ireland.
I am from Nottingham, yeah. I was in the burns unit from the February till July, and then from July I went for some rehabilitation until the end of the year, and I was discharged on the 8th of January 1980.
So a long time to receive.
Yeah, I never soldiered again.
Of course, it was while you were in the burns unit and being treated that you received this unexpected message from Brian Clough.
Yeah.
I think your close friends had told him about what had happened to you.
Anyway, I used to go in the army. I lived close by the forest ground. I was always a forest fan since I was a kid. And I used to take my forest things with me and put them up on the wall. I don't know whether you can remember the silk scarves we used to have.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the white ones. I had a red silk scarf and I had my photographs and pictures of the current forest team, put them up. And after I was injured, obviously, I didn't go back to the base. I was flown out.
Yes.
And my mates had to take all my stuff down and put it in my suitcase and send it back to England. And they knew I was a big Forest fan and just copped onto the idea of writing to Brian Clough to see whether he'd write to a Forest fan who'd just been injured in Northern Ireland.
And he did. And
he did, yeah.
Have you got the letter?
I've still got the letter, yeah.
Yeah. Have you got it to hand at all?
Oh, I've got it.
Yeah, it was addressed to me when I flew back to England.
And what does it actually say?
It was posted from the Forest Ground on the 13th of February 1979. It was addressed to me in the burns unit of the Woolwich Hospital, London, which was a military hospital. And it said, "Dear Bill, this letter may come as a surprise to you, and it will be an even bigger surprise when I tell you to get up off your backside and get yourself fit, because there are a lot of games to be played at the City Ground this season, and I have a seat waiting for you for all the matches for the rest of the season, as soon as you are able to come and see us. I know it is difficult for you, and I won't pretend to begin to understand how you feel, but you know we want you here just as soon as possible. We all hope you get better quickly. Everyone here sends their love and best wishes. We are all thinking of you and looking forward to seeing you at one of Nottingham Forest matches when you're all well. Kind regards, yours sincerely, Brian Clough."
That's absolutely incredible. What did you think when you got that?
Well, my hands were burned and I couldn't open my mail. My hands were what you call superficially burnt, and they were in plastic bags.
Oh.
So, they used to put cream on my hands and cover your hands with plastic bags. But the nurse used to bring my mail in and read it to me. And she said, "I've got a letter here from Nottingham Forest Football Club." And she read the letter out to me and I thought, Christ.
And it's got all the forest emblem and the letter heading on the top. And then it's it's personally signed, isn't it?
It's yours sincerely, Brian Clough, signed by Brian Clough. And it's just got Brian Clough, manager.
And what did you think to his advice, or his order, shall we say? Get up off your backside and get yourself fit.
Well, I thought it was pretty funny, really, because all my backside was badly burned.
Oh,
And I was doing my best to keep up off my backside in the first place.
oh dear, oh dear. And did you manage to get to the City Ground in the end?
I did. I started going back down when I was well enough. I missed the first European Cup final because I was in hospital. But the second, I went to Madrid for the second for a week
Ah.
and saw Forest win 1-0. But I didn't go back down and claim a ticket like he did. I thought that would be very rude of me. I was just very pleased with the letter he sent me and called it a day at that.
Ah. So you didn't get to meet Brian in the end?
No, I was just happy with the letter, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah, and obviously you've cherished it all this time. It still has a special meaning for you. What did your friends think that he'd actually written?
Well, my friends couldn't believe it because they said they just writ on the off chance. They just said, he might do and he might not, but they didn't think he would. And when I told them, when they finished the tour of duty, they came to the hospital to visit me and I showed them the letter and they said, good God.
And it's only like 10 days or so after the actual incident, isn't it?
It is 10 days.
So he didn't mess about.
No, he didn't.
Amazing.
It was fantastic. Yeah, well, I mean, as you know yourself, he's a fantastic manager. What he did at Forest is unbelievable.
And you still go to matches these days, do you?
I do when I get a ticket.
Yes.
It's very difficult today, especially now they're back in the Premier League. But I've been supporting Forest since I was a kid, and I've got to say, when I used to go down there, I used to go down as a kid when I was at school, and I was down in the Trent End. They used to have a girder running at the back of the Trent End, where you used to climb up and get behind it. I was in there the day the fire broke out against Leeds United. I also, when I was a kid, I've also been to the highest attendance ever recorded at City Ground, which was 49,000. I was in the Bridgeford end as a kid against Manchester United.
I bet that was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you were crushed and you were going up and down all day. But I remember that because I remember that for two reasons. One, it was against Manchester United, and two, it was the highest attendance ever recorded at City Ground. 49,000 and something.
And what do you think Brian would make of the team these days, now they're back in the top flight?
I think he'd be pretty pleased. They're back in the Premier League. And the team, I think they'll do all right this season. I don't think they'll be challenging for the title. I'll be very pleased myself if they survive for the first season.
Yeah. And obviously the Queen was the head of the armed forces, and we're speaking now in September 2022, following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. As a former soldier, how has that affected you?
Well, I suppose it's the same as everybody else. It's very sad. I think she was a very remarkable woman myself. Very remarkable. I used to see her myself taking part in Troop in the Colour on Horse Guards Parade. She used to be on a horse then called Burmese, and she'd be riding a horse, and I saw her many times. And when I was actually injured, I got her husband, Prince Philip, was colonel of my regiment, and he sent me a telegram.
Really?
Yeah, I got a telegram from Buckingham Palace from him.
Oh, that's incredible. And have you kept that as well?
Oh, I've kept that as well, yeah.
Yeah. There's been such an outpouring of love and admiration following the sad news. You bravely served the Queen yourself. What tribute would you pay?
I'd just say she was a very remarkable woman, and I don't think she'll be ever matched, serving the country for 70 years. And I think she was a truly remarkable woman, her and her husband, Prince Philip.
And obviously, Brian is no longer with us, but if he was here and you had the chance to speak to him, thinking of that letter you received, what would you say, do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably show him the letter and thank him very much for it, because I've kept it all that. I've always admired the guy. He's a great manager, but there were other great managers around, like I've seen it, Bill Shankly one, Joe Mercer, Bertie Mee, who I thought were great managers, and Don Revie. They were great. And I've watched the clip on him when he's on a talk show with Don Revie himself, and the two of them are having a right scrap with one another.
That was a classic, wasn't it? That live debate.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'd do if I saw Brian Clough. I'd like to shake his hand and show him the letter and thank him.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I'm a football fan. I'm a Nottingham Forest fan. To get a letter off the manager, you know, it's quite... Because the thing is, when you read that letter, it's not a letter that's written by anybody else. You can tell it's been written by him.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You know, the words and and the way he used to speak and the way he was, you know, telling somebody to get off their backside. I mean, that's not anybody else. That's Brian Clough, that is.
Yes. Although the letter's typed, you can tell that he's actually dictated it and it's his words.
Yeah. It's his words, all right. I mean, I don't think anybody else would tell me to get up on my backside apart from Brian Clough.
Yeah, I don't think you'd take that instruction from anybody else, would you, really?
No, I mean, it's quite a funny letter, but...
yeah.
It's just a great letter, keepsake, you know.
Yes. And how are you these days, Billy?
Oh, I'm okay. I've always been okay because I saw worse things happen to other people over there, including many of my own mates who were killed over there. I've always considered myself to have got away very lightly, to tell you the truth. If you can understand that.
Yeah, I can. I'm sure there were very dark days for you.
Yeah, they were, but. You know, you sign up and you do a job in which you know you want to do. You know, like you and your job.
Yes.
You know, that was the job I enjoyed doing, and it.
Yeah. Well, Billy Lundy, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for your service to Queen and country, and for sharing your memories of Brian Clough.
Yeah. Nice to speak to you, Marcus.
Lovely to talk to you, Billy. Take care.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Cheers.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.